Hi, hello, welcome to my next lecture on thermochemistry, second lecture. In the previous lecture, I have discussed about nature of energy and types of energy. Nature of energy and types of energy. In that, I've explained about the thermal energy, chemical energy, potential energy, and energy definition forms and all ways up. That means all forms of the energy that can be converted and that conversion from one form to another form also how it happened we observed. And finally we defined law of conservation of energy in that information, that is the total quantity of energy in the universe is assumed to be constant. Now today's in this session we have the concept, that is energy changes in chemical reactions. That means often the energy changes that takes place during chemical reactions are of as much practical interest as mass relationships we discussed in the concepts in the previous chapters. For example, combustion reactions. For example, if you take combustion reactions that we have discussed in the previous studies, combustion reactions, which involves fuel such as natural gas and oil, are carried out in daily life more for thermal energy they release than for their products, which are water and carbon dioxide. You know, in the combustion reaction, we will get carbon dioxide and water plus energy. That means this is a best example of understanding a chemical reaction which is accompanied by the energy release in this reaction. That means almost all the chemical reactions which absorb or produce energy generally in the form of heat. This is nothing but heat energy. It is important to understand the distinction between thermal energy and heat. Thermal energy and heat. So, thermal energy and heat. So, there is a definitely a relation is there. Generally, in the form of heat, whatever is there in the chemical reactions, whether it is thermal energy or heat, we have to get a clarity in that. So, in this chemical reaction, the heat is the difference, what we observed is nothing but transfer of thermal energy between two bodies that are different temperatures. So, when you are defining heat, how can we define the heat is nothing but heat is nothing but transfer of thermal energy from one body to another one. Other, that is also condition, that is that are different temperatures. So that are at different temperatures. So when the two bodies are having two different temperatures, at that juncture, if the thermal energy transfer happened then that is called as heat. Thus, we often speak the heat flow in chemistry sciences and all, that heat flow from hot body to a cold body in generally it takes place. Although the term heat by itself implies the transfer of energy, we customarily talk of the heat absorbed or heat released when describing the energy changes occur during the process. So we talk about two things in the thermal processes, that is heat absorbed or heat released. Heat absorbed or heat released. Okay. So in this juncture, we need to get a clarity about this thermochemistry also, because thermochemistry is the study of heat change in chemical reactions. Exactly what is thermochemistry? What is thermochemistry? Thermochemistry, now we are saying, it is the study of heat change in chemical reactions. It is the study of heat changes in, we are discussing about chemical reactions. In chemical reactions. That is why our discussion is on energy changes in chemical reactions. So energy changes in chemical reaction is nothing but the energy transfer, that means thermal energy transferring from one body to another body when they are at different temperatures. Usually we are saying that the heat energy or thermal energy which will often transfer from hot body to cold body. This is the general idea. Now, to analyze this informations, energy changes which are associated with the chemical reactions, we must first define an important term here in the discussion. That term we will call it as system. That term we will call it as system. What is system? Or a specific part of the universe. Here this is nothing but a specific part of the universe that is of interest to us. Specific part of the universe that is of interest to us. That means whatever we are going to observe in the process, that location, that area, that part of the process is called as system present in the universe. That is most important definition. For chemists, for chemical reactions we are saying, for chemists, usually it includes the substances involved in the chemical and physical changes in a chemical reaction. The chemical reaction itself is called a system. For example, acid-base neutralization experiment if you take, the system may be a beaker which contains some acid and base, 50 ml hydrochloric acid, 50 ml sodium hydroxide if you consider, which is added. Then what happens in the neutralization reaction? The whatever we observe, that reaction is called as system. And the rest of the other one means inside the beaker, whatever the beaker containing the contents are there, components are there, that we will see, and that we will call it as system. surrounding is excluding that system. That means the surrounding is the rest of the universe outside the system. Another important terminology, that is surroundings. So what is surroundings? Surroundings is the rest of the universe outside the system. Rest of the universe outside the system, that we will call it as surroundings. So system and surroundings collectively we will call universe. That means there are three types of the points here noticed. One is universe, another one is system, another one is surroundings. But most of the process we will observe in the system only when it is a chemical reaction like neutralization reaction, what we have told. And this is regarding the most important terminology in before studying the energy changes in chemical reactions. Now we are going to see what are the types of systems and their examples also in this discussion, that we will see. Now we are going to see types of system. There are three types of system are there. The one is called as open system. Other one is called as a closed system. The another one is called as a isolated system. Coming to the point here, the open system. When you talk about open system, in that exchange of mass and energy, usually in the form of heat, with its surroundings takes place. That means in open system, energy and mass both can be exchanged between the system and surroundings. That means energy and mass. What is open system? Means in that exchange of energy, particularly heat energy and mass both will take place in the open system. Okay, for that we have a simple example. I will tell that the open system may consist of some quantity of water in an open container. When you observe quantity of water in an open container, like this. This is an open container. Here what will happen? Heat exchange takes place. And also water vapor is there, right? That also gets exchanged. That means mass, heat, both can get exchanged here. This is one a representation of open system. In this, which allows the exchange of both energy and mass with its surroundings. That is an example here we are observing. Okay. Not only that one, we have a second one if you observe, that is a closed system. That means if we close this flask, the same flask, if you close it, right, this is been closed, completely closed, like this. Here what will happen? Here the study noticed that there is exchange of heat only taken place. Exchange of heat energy only taken place, but mass is not got exchanged that we will call it as a closed system. This we will call it as closed system. So in closed system, what will be noticed? The notice is very clear in closed system that there will be exchange of heat, but there is no mass exchange taken place in this one. Whereas when we observe the third one, when you observe another one, that is isolated system. There is one insulating material which is present around this one. It is not going to allow heat energy as well as the mass. In such a case, that kind of system we will call it as isolated system. Isolated system. So no heat exchange, no heat exchange, and there is no mass exchange takes place in this one. And here mass exchange is not taking place. Mass exchange is not taking place, but heat exchange is taking place. Here both mass and heat, both they are going to exchange. So this type of three things are very important in chemistry point of view. That means isolated system does not allow the transfer of either mass or energy. This is shown in this picture. Chemistry point of view, we told earlier about a combustion reaction. A simple example I will give you, that is H2 plus O2. 2H2 plus O2 gives rise to 2H2. In this reaction, energy also we are writing as it is combustion reaction, hydrogen is gas, oxygen is gas, H2O is liquid. It is combustion of hydrogen gas in oxygen is one of the chemical reaction which releases considerable quantity of energy, right? This is the case, energy case. In this case, what we noticed is the reacting mixture containing hydrogen, oxygen and water molecules or system, and the rest of that one is surroundings, because in this one energy cannot be created or cannot be destroyed, and energy lost by the system must be gained by the surroundings. That's why heat generated by the combustion process here is transferred from system to surroundings. And these type of reactions we will call exothermic processes. Comes under exothermic process, which in any process that gives off heat, and that is called as exothermic process, and that heat will be transferred from, that heat is nothing but transfer of thermal energy from the system to the surroundings, right? That's what we observed in our general chemical reaction point of view also. The another thing here, if you observe a reverse process of the same chemical reaction, that is, if you write energy plus 2H2O, reverse reaction if you do, right, this H2S is a solid. I am taking HGO instead of H2O, right? This is a solid, mercurous oxide. Mercuric oxide, it is mercuric oxide reaction. If you observe, it gives mercury in liquid state, and oxygen will come out of this one. So here heat transfer is taken place in this reaction. Here heat released, here heat absorbed by the system. In this reaction, the decomposition of mercuric oxide, this is mercuric oxide, that's what taken place at high temperatures only, and in this reaction we told the energy is absorbed, that is called as endothermic. That type of process is called as endothermic process. This is a exothermic process and this is endothermic process, right? So now we observe types of system, and in that if you observe a chemical reaction, the chemical reaction may accompanied by the release of energy, absorption of energy, and that type of chemical reactions that can be distinguished and classified on the basis of the heat transfer from the system to the surroundings. And here what we have noticed is very clear from a small representation I will give you. That is, when we have 2H2O2, these are in gas state in this exothermic reaction. They are reactants actually. They are reactants and they are converted into product water. Product water in liquid state. In this reaction, assume this is A, this is B reactions. For this, energy observed like this. The energy observed like this. Why? Because here energy is released. So here energy transfer taken place from system to the surroundings. That's why the reacting species here shown with the higher energy and product shown with the lower energy. That means in this juncture, we notice that exothermic change, that is heat given off by the system. This is nothing but exothermic change, that is heat given off by the system to the surroundings. To the surroundings. So that was noticed. That's why in an exothermic process, what will happen? Energy transfer, heat transfer from system to the surroundings takes place. When you see the second equation here, in the second equation, we have HGO is there, mercuric oxide. Here energy absorbed. That means products will be in the higher energy level. That is 2 moles of mercury is there in solid state, plus oxygen which is in the gas state. This is in the gas state is there, and this was actually obtained from this mercuric oxide 2HGO in solid state by absorbing energy. So energy is associated to this one, energy is given and this is absorbed. After absorbing the energy, it is converted into products, that is mercury and oxygen. So here what we notice, this is endothermic change and heat absorbed by the system from the surroundings. That means here we can write one thing, arrow mark like this. That is this is endothermic change. Endothermic change, that is heat absorbed. Heat absorbed by the system from the surroundings. By the system from the surroundings taken place. So this is the other one. So these two things are very important in our discussion of energy changes in chemical reactions. So what we have discussed in this small session, that is, we started with the energy changes in chemical reactions, and we have told about the chemical reactions, how they will absorb and they will release energy. That can be explained on the basis of the general concept of important terminology called system and system classification. After that, we have taken directly some chemical reactions. In those chemical reactions, one type of energy change chemical reaction is called as exothermic reaction. Another type of reaction is called as endothermic reaction. In these reactions, how heat exchange taken place from the system to the surroundings and surroundings to the system, that was given in this small session. So this session is based on energy changes on chemical reactions. We have concluded. Okay, we will see in the next session. We have a very good session will be there, and the introduction of thermodynamics in this topic. Okay, so this is the end of this session. We will move to the next session in the next class. Okay, thank you very much.